Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another fun-packed, top of the table, FA Cup conquering, Champions League, top of the league, loving it edition of the North Bank Summit. As the song goes, it's just the two of us tonight. Me and my beautiful co-host, Mr. El Smugger himself. Liam, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad. Yeah, it's not been a bad couple of weeks, is it? After that horror performance at Wolves, yeah, we've kind of shackled that off and back up and running again.
Absolutely. So we've got lots to talk about. Obviously, we didn't have a show last week, so we've got beating Chelsea, beating Mansfield. Who else we beat? Brighton. We're just beating everybody at the moment. And the games coming up thick and fast. We've got FA Cup draws to talk about, Champions League to talk about, league games to talk about. We might even have a couple of little jokes about Spurs as well. Just why not? They're there to be laughed at. Oh, absolutely. So we might as well delve straight into Chelsea last week briefly. Obviously, always nice to beat them. It wasn't the greatest of performances, was it? But we got the job done. Set piece FC. Hello. 3 more points in the bag.
Yeah, I didn't ever think it was going to be a pretty game of football, to be fair. We see what the home game was like in the League Cup. I always have a bit of a worry when we play a team that we haven't lost to for a long time as well. I knew it was going to be that kind of game, and it was just about getting over the line again and backing up the Tottenham performance for me. 2 set pieces, boiling piss, happy days.
Absolutely. I mean, it's funny because we're all moaning about Chelsea, but we're going to be all cheering them on in a couple of weeks. Because obviously they've got Man City at home coming up. And to be fair, if they play like they did against us, I mean, they huffed and puffed. They'll give them a game and it'd be lovely if they can take a point or two of them.
I think Chelsea will take points on Man City. I think if you look at Chelsea's record against Man City, that they've picked up quite a few kind of draws against Man City. So I think Chelsea can go down and win. You have to give the manager a little bit of credit. He's took 3 losses and they're all at Mikel Arteta's hands. Which
it's crazy, isn't it, really?
Not digging you out there, Gav, but it's facts. And I come to you with the facts, mate. And yeah, but overall, apart from obviously that, you got to say that he hasn't done badly in Rosenia in terms of what he's taken over, and they have got good players. They've got very good players. Like when you look around the pitch, there's really, really good young talented players, and I think we might look back at that result at the end of the year and think, yeah, do you know what? Getting over the line there was a big one because that was a shady additional time added on, mate. Look, we got over the line, but that was one of the hardest last 6 minute watches I think I've seen at the Emirates. I was literally clinging onto the chair in front of me. It was that tricky.
That offside goal was just horrendous. And obviously, because you got no other ground, obviously you're watching it and having to listen to Ratty and Neville going, I think that's onside. I was like, oh no, for God's sake. And then you see it and realise he's just talking crap again, and he's actually quite far off. But God, it's just going to be the fine margins in it. It's just going to be just scary to the end of the season. Like when we talk about the Brighton game, it's just horrible. It's not enjoyable anymore. I mean, mate, all the times we were treated to beautiful football when a Wenger years, I didn't win anything, but you could kind of relax and not be stressed. But now it's just completely opposite. It's just scary.
And that's Arsenal, isn't it? That's Arsenal in a nutshell. Like we do make things not easy for us. I don't know what that was, but we don't make things easy for ourselves. We didn't make that game easy for ourselves. You've got to give Chelsea the credit. They're down to 10 men, and they tried to take their opportunity in injury time. And look, an incredible save from Raya, from Garnacho, shot. And then obviously, I don't know, I want to say, yeah, right, it was a great save from Raya, and it was a great save. But sometimes I think he needs to calm down a little bit himself. I do feel at times, yeah, right, like when he was running back, punching the ball and all that. Now it just doesn't seem totally in control. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In certain aspects, and I'll go back to that Wolves game, like with him and Ray Gabriel. I just think they just need to calm down. They just need to be composed. Like, they've all got the capabilities, they've got the tools, they've got the team, but it's just about, like, do you know what I mean? In them crucial moments, just being composed, do you know what I mean? And just doing the right things. Look, I don't think the midfield or the wingers help whatsoever at times, giving the ball away in silly areas, but they got over the line just about, and yeah, it was a big 3 points.
Yeah, massive, and a special thank you to Pedro Neto for his little moment of madness. It's really helped. Bless him. I appreciate that greatly. So obviously pushing on from there to the Brighton game. Obviously we knew it was going to be tough. For some reason or another, we've always had funny results against Brighton, home and away recently. And yeah, it was another funny game. Obviously Saka scored, well, it's a strange goal, really. It's good to see him shooting, you know. But yeah, I don't know what the keeper was really doing. I think everyone was quite surprised when it went in.
Well, that was a gift, wasn't it? If we're being totally honest, yeah. Poor goalkeeping from the Brighton goalkeeper. It shouldn't be beating him whatsoever. There's not really much else to talk about during the game, is there? Like, it was again, I'll talk about like the last 6 minutes of that Chelsea game, or say the last 10 minutes was a hard watch. That whole 90 minutes was a hard watch from start to finish. But you sat there and you come out of it at the end of the game, seeing Man City drawing 2 or Forest, and us clinging on to a 1-0 win there. And you sit there and think, how crucial is that evening? And I want to put something else to you, mate. How good is it to see two teams playing at the same time? At the same time,
good.
Seeing everything unfold. And obviously having that moment where we're hearing that Man City have kind of thrown 2 points against Nottingham Forest. We don't get to see that much now in the Premier League because actually every game's a different kickoff time. So it just took me back. Do you know what? It took me back about 20 years, 25 years if I'm being honest, because I don't think many teams have that moment anymore.
No, it's nice to have all the games on the telly at the same time. And I have to say, I'm not going to lie, the last few minutes, I switched over because I couldn't cope and put the Man City game on, which bizarrely was even more stressful, especially at the end when, you know, instead of having just 7 minutes of injury time, and they still added on 2 more. And that chance at the end when, bless him, Murillo, he blocked that shot on the line because it looked like, how they didn't score because it looked for all the world they were going to whack it in. But, yeah, the thing is now, obviously getting towards the business end of the season, the so-called easier games become the hardest games because they're the teams that are down the bottom. You know, everyone's expecting, because we've got West Ham to come, and everyone's going, hopefully Man City, you know, West Ham might do something against them, forgetting that we've got to play them as well. Obviously, they had a bonus of a London derby, but we just got to keep getting through as we're getting through. It's just, you can see how hard it is to win games. You know, Wolves, bless them. We should never have drawn that game. But even they've, beaten Liverpool and beaten Villa, and it's just showing now. Pep and Van Dijk have come out and said, this league, it's the hardest it's ever been.
I totally agree with old Pep Guardiola. I think it is the hardest the league's ever been in. And let me put it this way. It's not the most glorious in terms of football, how football's played. But when you look at this league, and you see Wolves upsetting in the space of 2 weeks at a rock bottom of the table, Arsenal, Aston Villa and Liverpool, all within the top 6, that tells you the competition of this league. There's no ground you can go to and just guarantee you're going to pick up 3 points. Do you know what I mean? There's no team that you can kind of rest players in this league and you can expect to ease 3 points. This is a very, very competitive league. Like, you look at the likes that Crystal Palace won the FA Cup last year. Like, when would that have happened years ago? It wouldn't have happened. Newcastle won the Carabao Cup. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're talking about teams that might not be like right up there in terms of European Champions League spaces and that kind of stuff. But as it goes, you've still got to play these teams. And I look at the fixture list and I think Everton, if you look at Everton, they've got one of the second or third best away record this season.
They've had a wonderful season.
That's not an easy game. Right, it's going to be like the Dave Moyes derby with him and Mikel Arteta playing football. So don't expect a pretty watch there, and it's going to be a tough game. West Ham, Man City, West Ham. Man City got to go there at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night with 60,000 pissed up EastEnders. Like, that's not going to be an easy game of football. Bowen's on fire. Like he's more than capable of scoring goals against them. So every game is going to be difficult between now and the end of the season. And the biggest thing I can say at the moment is that I'm seeing fans on Twitter already going, "Oh, we're going to get knocked down by Southampton, this and that." Yeah, right. How are you even concentrating about Southampton? How are you even concentrating on that game of football? That game of football is on the 4th or 5th of April. We got Leverkusen next in the Champions League. That's where the focus should be.
We got a cup final before that, haven't we?
Well, exactly. We've got Leverkusen, we've got a big Premier League game. Then we've got another Champions League game. Then we've got a big FA Cup final. As you said, right, these games are coming thick and fast. And the biggest key thing that we need to be doing is keeping our centre midfielders fit, because, and our centre backs, to be fair, but when you look at our centre midfielders, I was thinking about this today, Declan Rice is absolutely vital to keep fit between now and the end of the season, because whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, Mikel Merino is a big loss. Like to not have him in any part of this squad over the next 5 months is not easy. It's not easy because actually, do you know, I think actually when we go to Southampton, which is a weekend after the international break, I actually think Arteta has to play the first team, because actually he what does he do? Does he rest him and then just bang him into a Champions League game, or does he bring him in and obviously play him, get him back into rhythm for that Champions League game?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I mean, obviously the likes of, the Norgards and that have come in and done so well to give, Zubimendi and Rice some much needed rest. Eze's really hit form. There's people like Lewis Skelly. I mean, he's an idiot. He got suspended for this game because he picked up a silly booking against Wigan. And these are the games he's going to be playing in. And then obviously you see the people that are playing the weekends. I don't know what's going to happen with him, but yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, international break over there, don't screw us. I forgot we had that coming up. That'd just be bloody typical. Yeah, it is a lot tougher, Gav. It is a lot tougher. And also, our FAs as well are completely different. You see, like Paris Saint-Germain got their game moved. The Spanish FA helped Real Madrid and Barcelona out. No English clubs ever get any help. That's a different subject entirely. Just have a moan about it. I think the Chelsea fan was moaning about it today. I do see their point. I mean, they do get it a lot easier. But no, it's just, Arteta's just got to be very cute with his selections, as he was the other day. Mansfield Town away, he had to pick and choose. Did the right thing. Brilliant, by the way, to have two 16-year-olds on the pitch, Miley Salmon and Max Dowman. I mean, not many clubs are doing that at the moment. It's absolutely outstanding what our academy is producing. 16. I mean, it's 16 for goodness sake. And they're both playing. I mean, Salmon did right, bless him, slightly at fault for the goal. But, he's 16. And Max Dowman, I mean, Christ, we were talking about this earlier, and well, he's just got the ball at his feet, isn't he?
What a talent. And when I mean what a talent, I mean he's probably the best thing that I've seen come through. And I've seen some incredible talent come through. I've seen Ashley Cole come through. I've seen Jack Wilshere come through. I've seen Bukayo Saka come through. And I don't want to put incredible amounts of pressure on him, and people go, well, it was only Mansfield the other day. Well, it was only Mansfield that Martinelli didn't know how to turn up in and apply himself. Do you know what I mean? It was only Mansfield that quite a few other players didn't know how to apply themselves. But you've got this 16-year-old talent who was put into a number 10 role on Saturday, absolutely taking the game to him single-handedly at times. And when I mean single-handedly, I mean single-handedly. And that, you can't tell me that you can't be excited of what this kid's future is going to be. Like, in my opinion, and look, this is only my opinion, when I see a player with this much ability, I just think to myself that actually if he's good enough, you play him. And it doesn't mean he starts games every week, because obviously that ain't going to be the situation. But if I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, I need a goal, or I'm thinking, do you know what, we're 2-3 up here, let's bring someone on to just roast some legs in the last 20 minutes. I don't see no better in him at the moment. I don't see no better in him. We know Martinelli can do stuff when Arsenal 2-3-0 up. We know he can expose tired defences. But the problem with Martinelli, let's be honest, he's very one-dimension. And, yeah, again, the performance he produced on Saturday was not good enough. Not good enough, mate. I'm sorry, it's not good enough. And when you're seeing a player like Max Dowman taking the absolute game to him, and people going, "Oh, it's only Mansfield," like these are still professional players. Do you know what I mean? These are still professional football players. Like, I know they've not been performing Mansfield to a capability they should be. What were they? Fourth, fifth from bottom in League One? But look at Port Vale, what they did Sunderland the other day. They were rock bottom and they beat them. So you have to turn up, and you have to, as a seasoned professional, you have to turn up to these games, and you have to be ready to kind of display yourself. And look, Max Dowman done that by an absolute bucket load on Saturday. And if I was Arteta, I'd be sitting there thinking, how do I not let him play football? Because I just don't. I think in certain situations, he's unmanageable. Like, you can't defend against him. And we see it in the pre-season. We see it when the season started. Like, he come on in a few games, didn't he? I think the Leeds game, he won a penalty in the last minute. And
that's right. Yep.
Teams just can't defend against him. His feet are so quick. He's a special talent. And yeah, he's got to be managed, obviously, wisely. But at the same time, I think if you're good enough and you're young enough and you've got the capabilities, why not? We see Wayne Rooney come through as a 16-year-old, and look what he did, mate. He was banging hat-tricks on his Manchester United debut in the Champions League. So, yeah, for me, it's very much that I think this kid's going to be a top player. I think he's going to be a top player, but and I don't see any reason why now at this moment of time, with the team that we've got, why he can't pick up more minutes between now and the end of the season.
No, definitely. Saying to you earlier, it's like, he's so direct. You know, he's going to win penalties, he's going to win free kicks, he's going to win corners, all playing to our strengths. And like, people can't get close to him. They just can't help but bring him down. I mean, sure, he's going to be sooner rather than later. He's going to be, he's already back in the squad. And yeah, I just don't see how he's not going to play. I think looking forward, especially to next season, I think he's going to be playing a lot. I know he's young, and I know they've got to look after him, but, you know, without putting too much pressure on him, you only have to look at Lamine Yamal at Barcelona, same age, and how good he is, ridiculously good. I'm not saying he could be as good, but the signs are promising, and why not? You know, as you did with Rooney, just let them go and play. At that age, they're fearless. They don't care. And obviously, the scary thing is, all the players are giving the ball. You've got experienced players like your Norgars, your Rezes, and that. They're giving this lad the ball. You know, they go, yeah, they know how good he is. Declan Rice has all been banging on about how good he is. So they know how, all the signs are there.
Oh, Gav, trying to put words in my mouth, as I can see. The way Liam is describing it is Max is a new Messi. Look,
that it has been mentioned.
You can't.
No, you can't. There'll only be one Messi.
No, you can't.
I think the way he glides about, they say, is Messi-esque. Which, you know, they're not saying he is Messi, but it's just some of his movement is very similar to what he does.
Yeah, you can't.
Which is great. We'll take that all day long.
Yeah, you can't liken him to that freak of nature, mate. Like, this is the best player that we've probably seen, like, in our lifetime, in Lionel Messi. Like, you've not heard once Lionel Messi's words come out my mouth, but what you've heard is that I'm bigging up a 16-year-old saying he should play football, and then you're attaching it that actually this is what Liam's thinking. Not really thinking of that at the moment, but what I am thinking is, and I think you hit on the forehead, like when you've got a player at your Miles level, who, look, he's an unbelievable for talent as well, absolutely fantastic. Max Dowman, that's the journey that I want to see Max Dowman go down. That's what I'm trying to say, that I want to see the journey where this guy is given the opportunity. And I just think, like, when you look at the structure of this squad and the strength of this squad, and you see the strength for the defence that we've got, and you see the midfielders, and you see what we're probably linked to in terms of the summer. Like, I know we're getting spoken about Tonali, who I think will be an absolute fantastic player. How can someone like Max Downham not blossom in a team like that? We're not talking about Max Downham coming through when Arsenal had the likes of Mustafi and Socrates, do you know what I mean? Guendouzi and all them kind of people in the squad. We're talking about a fully fledged squad that's fighting on all four fronts at the moment. So yeah, I do think that he's an incredible young talent. you can't liken anyone to Lionel Messi because there was only one Lionel Messi. But I am excited. I'm really excited about this guy. I'm really, really excited. And I thought the way he applied himself on Saturday was top class, top class. In a team that, if we're being totally honest, wasn't really performing in the first half. And I thought Mansfield played a bloody good game of football, to be fair. Look, this is the thing. When you go to the League One sides, you're playing against the pitch. You're playing against the fans. You're playing against everything, really, because actually everyone wants you to lose. We'll be exactly the same. Look, when Chelsea playing Wrexham, we all wanted Wrexham to win. Do you know what I mean? You've got to adapt to their pitch. So it's not easy, but he made it look easy. He made it look so easy. And that's the biggest compliment I can give him.
No, that's exactly it. And, yeah, the sky is certainly the limit. Also, in regards to some of the other players that played, obviously, you mentioned Marley Salmon come on. Is it James Jaden Dixon, another 16-year-old that come on? We signed from Blackburn Rovers, I believe. And all these young players coming through. I mean, Mascara, bless him, he was a bit wobbly at the back. But, you know, we got through it. You know, Calafiore, possible injury, bit of a blow. But Eze, though, we'll talk about how good he is at the moment because, I mean, I've moaned about him a few times, not going to lie, but he's really, and I said to you earlier, if anyone hadn't guessed, I had a conversation with you earlier, I keep mentioning it, but I read something earlier over the weekend about his stat. I can't remember what his stats are ridiculous. Seems to be between now and the end of the season, he really seems to hit his stride. And for Palace last year, he did the same thing, and I think he scored I was like, 9 goals and so many assists, and obviously culminated in him winning the FA Cup. And he's doing it again. Obviously, 2 goals against Spurs the other week. You know, chipping in with another goal. It's just, brilliant goal as well. Lovely finish. And, he really seems to have taken on, the position now of the key man in midfield. Odegaard's still injured, and he's grabbing the opportunity with both hands.
Yeah, I think that everyone knows my kind of thoughts on Eze. I think he's an absolute maverick of a player who probably has had some absolute incredible highs in terms of North London derbies. But obviously had that period where he weren't being picked, he weren't being played. We don't really know the ins and outs of that as we're supporters, but it was kind of intriguing. But what I would say is, over the last 3 to 4 weeks, I've started to see the Eze come back, that the one that I've been quite renowned to know, playing for Palace, and obviously certain games now that I'm seeing that he's having a much more bigger impact, not just in terms of his footballing ability, but I think his character within the team. I think the Tottenham game at White Hart Lane was a big moment for him. I felt the week before was a big moment for him, and I know it was only Wigan in the cup, but yet again, it's easy saying it's only Wigan in the cup, but you still got to go out there and do it. These are still professional players who play football week in, week out, and I think he's shown over the last 2 to 3 weeks that actually he is going to be a key player for us coming into this end part of the season. I'm really excited about what he can produce within this last part of the season because, firstly, he's got form with it, like you said. I speak to a lot of Palace fans, as you well know, and they've been saying this to me ever since he signed for Arsenal. Expect him to go hot and cold, but when it gets to March, he'll turn up and he'll peak at the right times of the season. I also think he's a big game player. So, look at the Man City game when he was 1-0 down in injury time at the Emirates. He delivers that unbelievable pass to Martinelli. Look at the Bayern Munich game. He does it again. He produces the game to Martinelli. Look at the 2 Spurs games, biggest games of the season as a North London derby. He turns up and bangs 5 goals in. He's obviously scored against his former club to win the game as well, Crystal Palace. And then he's obviously scored the winner again the other day against Mansfield, which obviously is probably not so decorated. But the finish, no goalkeeper saved that. Donnarumma ain't getting nowhere near that. No goalkeeper's getting anywhere near that. So I do think that in terms of him, I think he will peak. His form will peak over the next few months. And hopefully he'll continue to have some really good moments. And I hope he kind of shuts a few doubters up as well, because there was a lot of people stating that, is he good enough? Of course he's good enough. Do you know what I mean? Of course he's good enough. He just needed the games and the minutes, and now he's getting the games and the minutes. I feel that actually he's starting to produce some good form.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know. Obviously, talking about the FA Cup, we might also discuss the draw. Obviously, for people that haven't seen it, obviously Chelsea have got Port Vale at home. We are away at Southampton. Liverpool against Manchester City, and I believe West Ham or Brentford are at home to Leeds. So it's a lovely draw for us. We all said we want Port Vale or Southampton, no disrespect. I mean, the home draw would have been lovely, but you take that all day long, wouldn't you? Especially when you see Liverpool got to play Man City. So at least we know one of the big dogs is going out.
It's not a great draw for Man City whatsoever, that. It's not a great draw. Liverpool will be well up for that. I actually fancy Liverpool to go there and win, if I'm being totally honest.
Well, they've got nothing to lose, have they now?
I just fancy Liverpool. That actually, I think that that's a big game for them. That is a big game for them. So, and I just feel that Man City, they've got. Look, if they beat Real Madrid, then you're looking at 7 to 8 fixtures where they're playing some top clubs. Now, look, Man City are an incredible side. They've obviously always been like the top Premier League team for how many years now? Probably the last 10 years, we're being totally honest, yeah. But this ain't the same Man City team over the last 10 years. There ain't a Kevin De Bruyne anymore who can just conjure up any moment for Erling Haaland. Do you know what I mean? Haaland's struggling at present.
Very hit and miss.
Yeah, he's very hit and miss, and he hasn't. I think if I'm right in saying, since the new year, what's he got? 1 or 2 goals?
Not many goals, and he seems to pick loads of little niggly injuries up. You know.
Yeah, so you've got that going on, and I just feel that Man City are not scoring as many goals as they used to score, which is quite surprising because they're probably scoring more than most, but they're actually conceding goals as well. So. Yeah, I think Man City. I'm not sure about if they're going to really prioritise the FA Cup game compared to all the other games, but I think it's a tricky game for them, and I think Liverpool will be well up for it.
Yeah, I remember provided Man City get past Real Madrid, they would then probably play Bayern Munich, which is another massive tasty game, and that'll be right next door to the FA Cup game. It'll probably be over the week. But before or after, or could even be sandwiched in between the two.
I think Bayern Munich are the team to worry about in the Champions League. I mean, totally honest. When you look at what they've got, I know we beat them 3-1 at the Emirates, but it's a totally different game when you get into knockout stages. They've got top players. Like for me, if I'm being totally honest with you at the moment, everyone says that Arsenal favourites. I personally think if you beat Bayern Munich, you got a good chance of winning the Champions League. I think they've got everything there to succeed. I think Michael Olise is an incredible player. Harry Kane's going to score you goals. We know that. So yeah, that's an absolute tough game. If Man City got over that Bayern Munich game, I'll say that I fancy them to go all the way then. But then you've got Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain potentially. So it's quite an interesting one, but. Yeah, I think Bayern Munich are a massive threat.
Yeah, excellent form. Obviously, that ties in nicely to our German opponents on Wednesday night at a bizarre time again at 5:45. Like Bayer Leverkusen, obviously because we topped the group because we won every game. No one else did. Just throw that out there. So we get to play every game now, provided we keep going through the rounds. Our second leg will always be at home. How important do you think that is?
I'll let you know after Wednesday night. You got to take one game at a time, mate.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly.
I look at these games, yeah, right. And this is what I'm saying to you. I'm reading fans going on about Southampton. I'm not even thinking about Southampton. Do you know what I mean? Like we don't know who's going to be fit even when we play in Southampton. We're like, this is for 3 weeks in the mist. Do you know what I mean? Like. We got to concentrate on the game on the hand on Wednesday, and we can't underestimate Leverkusen. Yeah, they're sixth. Yeah, they're sixth in the German league, or 5th or 6th, something like that. I think they're 5th as it goes down. But like, we still got to go there. We still got to go there and put on a performance. And we still got to go there and win. And look, if you go 1 or 2 goals down there, and then you're coming back to London, like not with a lead of any such, then it's going to be a tough second leg. So we just got to make sure we're not complacent. I think it was good that we got away with this Mansfield game. And look, I think that Arteta managed it superbly well, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether we just beat Mansfield 2-1, we beat them. We're in the 6th round, but actually we was able to rest Gabriel, Saliba, Rice, Subimendi, Saka come on for the last 10 minutes, Gyökeres. So you've got them all rested for Wednesday night. So massive game Wednesday night. But I don't want to underestimate it, because actually I think that could bite you in the bum.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is be classic. Each game as it comes, they'll be well up for it again. They've got nothing to lose. They're not going to win the league this year in Germany, so they'll see this as a good opportunity. Obviously, Nketiah going back to his current club, but as to the rules, he is eligible to play, which is wonderful news. See, the other day, Romano has said that more or less it was a done deal that we signed him in the summer, which is another wonderful news, because he's been brilliant, hasn't he? It's just, again, as the season has gone on, he's just got better and better. He's really, really good. Centre-half, full-back. Yeah, I just think he's been a brilliant signing. Just slotted in seamlessly. He just doesn't get many injuries, unlike some other defenders. And, yeah, I just think he's a big game from a Wednesday. Hopefully he can enjoy the occasion and help us get the win.
I think with Nketiah, right, I watched California on Saturday, and I've had this feeling with California for a while. I like him, but I'm not sure if I like him that much.
It's just a bit chaotic.
Yeah, sometimes he's a bit chaotic. He's very clumsy.
Typical Italian.
Yeah, he's very clumsy. Like when you think of against Kuwait, when he pulled that geezer back straight after he scored for the penalty, I just feel that sometimes, he's a good player, but I just feel at times sometimes that actually he can expose us a little bit. And I've always been a bit worried when the ball goes behind him, because I just don't think he's going to get back. And then I'm worried that he's going to get himself booked or sent off, or he's going to do something silly. Well, I just think Nketiah is very, very composed. I think he's an incredible player. I'm not surprised whatsoever that he's now nailing down that left-back spot, because actually I think he's the best player for that position at the moment. I think he offers you so much defensively, but obviously he supports me going forward, as we see against Wolves as well. And I think the big thing with him as well is that he's got a bit of a ceiling to his game, and I don't think we've seen the very, very best of him yet. And I think he's a kind of a player, as we move into next season, you'll start seeing the very, very best of him. Absolute incredible business, because look, I know everyone goes on it was a loan to buy, but the deal was that when we got him in, we was going to buy him. It was just obviously balancing the books out, like we did with David Raya. But yeah, he's top class. He's top drawer, and I bet he's buzzing because he can actually play on Wednesday, can't he? So he'll be well up for it, as well as Kai Havertz, because obviously he comes from Leverkusen as well. So I'm quite interested to see if Kai Havertz starts on Wednesday, or whether they'll start him on the bench.
Yeah, obviously he played the other day, did all right, but didn't really put up many trees. You would expect Sexy Victor to start up top. Saka's going to play. The other winger is, well, we don't know. It'd probably be Trossard, because he tends to. I know he's been a bit hit and miss the last few weeks. So, yeah. I mean, Dowman could possibly play, because Spurs are a real surprise, but I'd be surprised because of the size of the game. Eze's got to play. I presume Zubimendi and Rice will be back, which leads me to think Havertz will be on the bench. But we don't know, because rumours going around who's fit and people got slight niggles. So we don't really know who is completely fresh and ready to go.
I think it's an interesting one Wednesday night. I think he will start Havertz on the bench, because I think he's more likely to play against Everton. And I'll tell you why I think he's more likely to play against Everton, because obviously we know Everton's going to be that kind of physicality kind of game with David Moyes obviously coming to town. So I can see him definitely starting on Saturday. I think he will start on the bench tomorrow. I don't think he's fully ready to be thrown in. just because obviously picked up that injury. But we need to get Kai Havertz fit. Like we need, and I say this in the best possible way and the best possible respect to Odegaard. We need Odegaard fit just because we need really, really good options to be able to firstly rotate, but also in these cup games to be able to play like players like Odegaard. I don't see Odegaard starting many Premier League games between now and the end of the season, if I'm being totally honest. Like there's rumour that he might be back before the end of the month. We're getting to April at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you even know what's wrong with
knee injury apparently, but
is it?
I just look at him, right, and I just think, well, at the moment we haven't needed him pretty much for the whole season. So why would we throw him straight back in? But when you start looking at like the quarterfinal, the FA Cup, that would be key for him to come in. And I actually think Odegaard's really good to come on to finish games off. Like he'll slow the pace down in the game. Do you know what I mean? He'll control the ball. He'll keep the ball. Against Leeds and Spurs, he assisted with 2 goals.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he
so
did.
I see him as more of a finisher at the moment, finishing off games. And look, there's nothing wrong with that because actually that's what might win us the title at the end of it all.
No, definitely. And like the likes of Nottingham Forest, we haven't mentioned him. Obviously, another goal for him. He's chipping in with important contributions. I mean, I was saying it could be Martinelli or Trossard playing. There's a possibility he could start on Wednesday.
I don't think he fancies him on the left-hand side, does he?
Yeah, no.
I think he'll play Martinelli in Europe. A good point that was raised earlier on by BX Gunner. Like he knows I've been quite critical of Martinelli over the years. Do I think that he's probably good enough to be in his squad? He is, because obviously he's such a danger in cup football and in late moments of the game. But we're really looking at a player who shouldn't be he should never be utilised for that only. This player, a few years ago, should have been the player who should be nailing down that left wing spot. And I just wonder, like in the summer, will they potentially sit there and think, do you know what, shall we cash in on him before we start losing value? Because look what happened to Theo Walcott. We didn't cash in on him. Like we got 20 million for him at the end, which probably weren't bad money. But we probably could have took better money a year or so before that if we sold him at the right price. So I think that could be a potential sale in the summer. And I could see Martinelli leaving because actually I think he'll want first team football. I think we need a world-class left winger. We know that. Whoever that is, I don't know yet. But I think he does start in Wednesday night because I think one thing I'd say about Martinelli is that he does seem to get goals in Europe.
Yep.
He does seem to get some goals in Europe, and I think that would be the better choice. I think Trossard at the moment is going through really bad form. I think I don't really understand how he's still. Well, I do understand why he's starting because I don't think there's much difference between him and Martinelli. But this is why it's a shame we can't get someone like Havertz fully fit because then potentially maybe you could push Eze out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Trossard is struggling. But that's all about the squad depth. It'll be very interesting to see what Leverkusen do on Wednesday. Obviously, being the home team, first leg, they're going to need to, have a go. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they play it because if we can hit them on a counter-attack, which could be if Martinelli plays, that will play to his strengths. You know, Victor slotting in now, he's banging a few goals. So, yeah, we just don't need to do anything stupid. It's just one of them, the pressure's not all on them, but obviously they're the home team and they're going to want to take an advantage to come over to ours. And, yeah, we just need to... I can imagine him setting up a team similar to how he did against Chelsea in the Cup. Just saying, well, you're not scoring, we're going to nick a goal. Which is great, and then obviously you have an eye on the weekend's game. It'd be lovely if we can get a dream scenario. We go a couple of goals up, then he can start changing a few people around and give the likes of Havertz and Madueke and that if they're not already on, or even Darwin if he's on the bench 20, 30 minutes to give you Saka's and that a rest because they're the ones that are going to be coming up with the goals. And it's good as well. I mean, I know he didn't really do a lot, but it's good to see Saka getting a goal. from open play, which hopefully means he might go on a bit of a run. Because players like him, well, everyone needs to score goals, but obviously if our attackers can score a lot of goals, it takes a lot of pressure off the defence and the midfield.
So having a fit and scoring Saka will give you an incredible chance of winning the Premier League. Let me tell you that much.
Yep.
I don't know what, like, even when I watch him against Mansfield, I just feel like he's kind of lost something, isn't he? Like, I don't know if it's a spark or what it is. But I've been really, really gunning for him to hit back into form. He's still scoring important goals, which is obviously a good thing. That he's got lucky a little bit against Brighton, if we're being frankly honest here. I don't know. We really need, if we want to win trophies, then we need him to really hit into top gear now. He's fit. He's playing football week in, week out now. I think Arteta's managing him really, really well in terms of his minutes. We don't naturally need him for 90 odd minutes every single game. Do you know what I mean? When you've got the likes of Nonny and Max on the bench, that there are different options there. You don't have to play him for 90 minutes, but he's a key part of the team. He's captain of the team when Odegaard's not fit. Whether I agree with that or not, he is. And yeah, hopefully he can get back to the Saka that we know in the last couple of months, because if you've got a fully fit Saka and Eze clicking into gear, and look, I thought against Spurs away, I thought they connected really well together. If you can get them two playing, then do you know what I mean? I think you're going to rip teams to pieces. I really, really do.
Definitely. But I'd factor into that as well. I mean, obviously against Spurs, they looked a different beast. Against Chelsea and Brighton, he didn't really get a sniff again. So hopefully, I mean, obviously Everton coming up the weekend. It's another game that you want him to be there and firing. Obviously, he scored the winner. A penalty up there. But it'd be good to get him back up and running again, because he's been a bit quiet the last couple of games. I think teams have worked him out. Do you know what I mean? Like, they know he'll cut in and try and have a shot. So when he tries to cut back in, he's always got 2-3 defenders to try and beat. So they've done that, but then then how that you rectify that, right, is by having more breakers from midfield. Do you know what I mean? So if he is doing that and he can't cut in, you got other players that are breaking through the lines. And this is where I think Kai Havertz can be quite key at times. See Gav's comment there. I mean, no, I didn't think he was that vital, to be honest. A lot of people are eating humble pie now, Gav, because I think everyone was moaning when he first signed him. But he's a wonderful footballer.
I don't think people imagine that he'll be. You know, I don't think we imagine now that actually, like, we'll probably be sitting there thinking, actually, we want Kai Havertz to be pushed right up on Gyökeres, especially in our home matches. Like, I think he's key for our home games. Like when you see him against Sunderland, do you know what I mean? I think he opens up opportunities for Gyökeres. So I think, especially in the home games, and you look at our home games between now and the end of the season. Yeah, they're tricky games, and then as we're saying, there's no game that's not tricky in the Premier League, but they're all winnable. Like, they're all games you look at and sit there and think, we should get 3 points. And I think Havertz is key to that. I think Havertz is key to our home form. Like, if you can get him and Gyökeres playing up front and him off him, and then you've got Rice and Subamendi, and just say you played Eze out on the left, for example. How do teams manage that? I don't really know how teams manage that, because actually at that point, physically, like, teams are going to have Gyökeres and Havertz to deal with. And as we've seen in games that have obviously bypassed us, that actually, especially the Sunderland game, Havertz comes into that box, and what he's doing is he's creating more room for Gyökeres. And then we all know Gyökeres, one thing he can do is finish. So that's where Gyökeres is at his best, in the box. And that's where we've not exposed him enough throughout the season. So I think this is where Havertz comes into his own. But I definitely think in the home games, I think that we should be a bit more ambitious in putting him in the team and pushing him, getting him right up against him. Because you got Subamendi and Rice at the end of the day in centre midfield. Right? Not being funny, how many better midfields that are coming to the Emirates for now in the end of the season than them two? You can't tell me Everton have got a better centre midfield. You can't tell me Bournemouth have. You can't tell me Newcastle have. You can't tell me Fulham have. And you can't tell me Burnley have. Take the game to them. Get the game done.
Yeah,
Right?
no, definitely.
This is the most frustrating thing. This is the most frustrating thing at times, that we don't put the game to bed. Put the game to fucking bed. Because once you put the game to bed, you can take players off and rest players.
No, exactly. And they can stop us from having near heart attacks as well, which would be really, really helpful. Obviously, looking forward to the Everton game Saturday. Obviously, well, it's two massive games, really, when you think about it. You know, we're at 5:30 at home. I mean, you know, Man City, I mean, the next couple of weeks, obviously, Man City are playing after us. And we've seen it when we've played after Man City. You know, it is. You can tell when the players, they know it's there. The pressure is there. You know, if we can get past Everton Saturday, it's 10 points. And then got the 2 games in hand, it's 10 points. The pressure on them to go to West Ham, and are they still winning West Ham? I haven't got a clue.
No, 2-2. Penalty.
Oh, 2-2.
I think Eagles just scored.
Oh, okay. To make it 2-2?
80th minute.
There you got the first one. Yeah, okay. And, you know, West Ham are fighting for their lives. You know, they had a great win at Fulham the other day. You know, and obviously, I can't think on the top of my head who Forest and Spurs are playing the weekend, but West Ham obviously know what they need to do as well. And it could be a very important day. You know, we just need to do our job. Everton have had a great season. I mean, David Moyes is such a brilliant manager. I mean, obviously, if we do go on to win the league, then normally it is that the manager that wins the league gets manager of the season. But David Moyes is up there for me. He's just, you know, they got Jack Grealish in. He did well. He got in. He's out injured for the rest of the season. And some of the players he's brought in, like Dewsbury Hall from Chelsea, brilliant signing. He's been brilliant for them. Ndai, and had on the wing, excellent. You know, they're all chipping in the goals. They're very defensively very good. Pickford's going to have a great season. And it will be a tough game. But I don't think Everton have beaten Arsenal at Arsenal for God knows how long. And, you know, we do our job properly. It puts the pressure in onto Man City. And then we shall see. But it could be 9-10 points. It might not be. It could go horribly wrong. But we just need to keep putting the points on the board, putting the pressure on them, and go on then.
We know how hard it is to play second. You always know it's much harder.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Much harder to play second because you know that actually you've got to do the business. Do you know what I mean? And the best way we can put pressure on them is by winning Saturday. Everton's a hard game for me. Yep. It's a very hard game. This is why I think Kai Havertz will start on the bench on Wednesday, and I think he will go Eze. I think he will go like Martinelli, but I think Kai Havertz will start against Everton. I think because obviously he'll want to play a system that will obviously physically match them. And I just think that this is an important game, this Everton game, because actually I think they're one of the best away teams in the Premier League this year, so you can't underestimate them. It's a tricky game. And actually, once we got them out of the way, Man City still will go to their ground and play Everton. So if you get 3 points, then like you still know that Everton have still got to play Man City still. I think it'll be a tight game. I don't think it'll be a comfortable game. I think it will be another tight game. But I think we're going to have to score an open play in this game. Now, if you remember, the game at their place was decided by a penalty, a Gyökeres penalty.
Yes.
I think it'd be a low-scoring game. I think it'd be a very low-scoring game. I think it could be one. It could be 1, 2, 3 goals most. And I just think we need to. It's another game we just need to get over the line. So, yeah, just get over the line, get the win. And just move on. That's all you can ask them to do at this moment is get the win. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, we do need to win comfortably. Like, it'd be ideal if we win comfortably because actually it put a lot more confidence in players. And we may win comfortably, but we've got to start winning comfortably. But at the same time, we just got to get over the line in games, and that's what we're doing superbly well. Like against Brighton, we just got over the line. All right, we'll take the Wolves game out of it, but it's just about now, mate. The results at the end of the season. They've slipped up already, possibly to what would have been their easiest game in the running. Do I see them winning every single game between now and the end of the season? Absolutely not. I don't see it whatsoever. If you look at this one that they've got, and you look at all the fixtures they got, and you look at if they beat Real Madrid, which I hope they do, by the way, because actually I can see what's coming next for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to take so much out of them. And I don't think that when you strip away the first team and you start stripping away the first team, I don't really think that they've got the options that they used to have. Yeah, they've got good season pro players, like you've got your John Stones, do you know what I mean? You've got your certain players, your Doku's, do you know what I mean? You've got your Mamouches, but they're not what they used to be, mate, 4 or 5 years ago. I remember Kevin De Bruyne coming on the pitch at Newcastle, and I think they were 2-1 down with 20 minutes to go, and he hits 2 world-class passes, and they're 3-2 up. I just don't see that from Man City anymore. And I think I look at that fixture list, and I look at that Chelsea game, and it just tells. I look at Cole Palmer, and I think it's got Cole Palmer's name all written all over it. It's got their written name written all over it. So I think they're going to slip up there. And then who knows what happens when we go there? Do you know what I mean? If we go there and don't lose, then you'd like to think that potentially we should be winning the title. But there's still 8 games to go, mate. There's still 8 games to go, and every game's going to have its own drama. It's going to have its own.
Who have we got after Everton? Who's the next game after that?
Bournemouth home.
Of course, yes. We got for it, I believe.
We can't underestimate that. We was 2-0 down against them, and we won 3-2 with Reece Nelson.
Yeah, no. Again, they've been a funny team over the years as well. We lost to them last year, I believe.
Like, I look at our last Newcastle. That's not easy. That's not easy. Again, we should beat them, but it's not easy. They've got good players. Look, they went to Man City. Man City only beat them 2-1, and Man City were holding on a little bit at the end.
They were, yes, they really were.
So, okay, Fulham and Burnley. You like to think Fulham, all their players will be gunning us on to win
throwing goals,
win the game. Burnley will be down, so you'd like to think actually that should be a win. West Ham. It depends where they are at the time. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They could be fighting for their lives. They could be fighting. We've gone up there and banged 6 and 5 past them out there for the last 2 years. So yeah, that'd be interesting. And
interesting, I remembered. Sorry, that Spurs have got Liverpool away this weekend. Yeah, so they're winning that. You know what I mean? So if West Ham were to get a result off Man City, mate, Spurs would be at the bottom 3.
I just don't want to go Palace last game of season still when you need to win the league, mate. Get it done. Get it done.
The way it's going, I don't know if it'll go. But I don't know famous last words, but we keep doing what we're doing. Like I said, I can't see Man City winning every game, especially all the games coming up.
I think we definitely need to win 5 games out of the 8.
I think we win our home games. I think we're more or less nearly there.
I think if you win your 5 home games and you win 1 away game, then I think
Man City, then we're sorted.
If you beat Man City, then you are sorted. You're definitely sorted. But you need to win all your 5 home games, and you need to you need to win 1 away game, in my opinion, because I just think that they'll slip up again somewhere. So I think 6 games will do it. I think it could go to 5 games. So I do actually think it could go to 5 games because actually I think there'll become a point, right? If they slip up, that they'll start sitting there thinking, wait a minute, what do we prioritise? The Premier League or the Champions League? And they'll be looking at the Champions League thinking, actually, we're probably more likely to win that at this point. We're going to prioritise that.
And especially if they're still in the FA Cup as well, because, they could beat us in the Carabao Cup. They could even win the treble, Well,
so, it's an interesting situation with Man City, isn't it? Like, I do look at. Then they ain't got no Mark Guay in that final, have they?
It's not. I don't know. I get so confused with this.
No, he's out. He can't play. It all depends.
So why is it different in that competition to others then? Because I can't keep up with it.
So, I believe if he got brought before the first leg had been played in the semi-final, like Semenyo, he could have played because Semenyo got brought at the right time. Because Mark Guay didn't get brought at the right time, he can't play. Now, my personal opinion is
it's a nonsense. You should be cup tied. But yeah.
I think it should be like if you're cup tied, you're cup tied. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, have to but changing the rules.
The rules are so different nowadays that actually, like, you can play in the Champions League now and sign for another Champions League club and play in the Champions League.
Yeah, it's not right, is it? It's not.
And is he going to stick with James Trafford in the final, or will he go Donnarumma?
No chance. I'll be absolutely stunned. I mean,
so what do we do then?
Oh well, I know what I want him to do, but I worry that he won't because he's not a cup keeper.
It's a game, isn't it? It's a game where actually, I don't think Man City can be without Gueye and Donnarumma.
No, but I don't really want Kepa in goal for the final, to be honest. I just think he's got a couple of little mistakes in him, bless him. But I think he will play. But
I think I'd have to go for the Premier League still, Gav. Obviously, I want to win the Champions League, but at the moment, the Premier League's just in my head.
Yeah, I agree. As much as it would be lovely to win the Champions League, because obviously we've never done it, and that's the one thing Chelsea do have over us, sadly. But yeah, it's been 20-odd years since we won the league. Win the league, and then we'll win everything else.
It'd be an
I'm more worried about winning the Carabao Cup, to be honest, than anything else, because I think that could really have an important factor in everything. We win that, and the confidence it gives to the players, the fans, the management, everyone is buzzing. But then obviously everyone starts talking about whatever else we could be winning. But yeah, I think that's massive. If we lose that, the media, I mean, they want us to fail anyway, but they'll have an absolute field day if we lose that. You know, are they going to bottle it? They're going to lose everything, blah, blah, blah.
Do you think
it's massive. I think we'll win the cup final. I do think we'll win it, but I say that every week, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, but it'll be very interesting to see what both managers do, with the lineups, the tactics. You know, last time Guardiola played us, he played us the ultimate respect, and they defended for their lives and didn't let us play at all, which is the first time we've seen him do that against us. So, yeah, but then you don't, obviously you don't know how many points will be clear at the top. We could be even further ahead. And will we run up for it? Yeah, it's an interesting one. And again, injuries and that. But yeah, it's a massive game for both. I think the pressure will be on us more to win it, Arteta, because, you know, we haven't won a trophy for so long. But yeah, if we do win it, I just think, it really puts out a big old message.
It's a big game, but I'm not even thinking about it at the moment.
No, I'm trying not to. No.
Think about it. The games, because I don't believe we've ever been in this situation before, where actually we're fighting on four fronts.
Yeah, it's just madness. You know, even with the Arsene Wenger days, I mean, that year, well, we had a possible treble, didn't we? In the Invincibles, and we lost the semi-final against United, and then went out of Chelsea in the quarterfinals, the Champions League, and that was the one that really killed it. But this time around, I mean, the FA Cup draw has been lovely, very kind. But yeah, no.
I'll be honest with you, Gav, I'm more worried about the Champions League, if I'm being totally honest. So, like, I just think that actually the first leg can play havoc. It's good if you get the result. If you don't get the result, and it depends what that result is. I don't know. At the moment, I'm just thinking about the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. We've had really decent cup games draws, if we're being totally honest, in the FA Cup, which has been able to take the pressure off the squad as such. Like, it doesn't matter that we only beat Mansfield 2-1 because, do you know what? Like you said, we played 2 16-year-olds. We played pretty much players in different.
All that matters is we won.
And you rested all them players like Gabriel, Saliba, Suma Mendy, Rice, do you know what I mean? Gyökeres, Raya. You was able to rest them and actually get through to a quarter-final. Like, I don't think he can get away with it at Southampton, by the way, and I don't think he will attempt to because, as I said, that's a weird game because it comes back after the international break. So Arteta has to ask himself, does he rest the players or actually does he bring them back in? Because actually, you've just been all the players been out in international week for a week. I think he has to play the first team because he'll need to get them prepared and ready for the Champions League game.
Yeah,
but you can't moan with Southampton away. Do you know what I mean? When you look at that draw, you think you ideally want Port Vale, but if you don't want Port Vale, it's Southampton, isn't it?
Yes,
and it is potentially another trip to Wembley in the semi-final when it's another game to look forward to. Interestingly, though, if it does go to the semi-final, that Arsenal-Newcastle game will end up being moved till May.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. But then hopefully more. So that we want Man City to beat Liverpool, so their game will get moved as well.
I think Newcastle will end up getting. It depends on when's the FA Cup final. That's the other thing you've got to think about. Is it the FA Cup final the week before when we played Burnley?
I don't know because I haven't got a clue. Because obviously last year the final was before the season finished. But obviously with the World Cup coming up, I don't know if that's been changed. I don't know.
FA Cup final. And they've still got
the last game of the season is May the 24th. I know that because it's my mum's birthday.
So I don't know birthday.
Yeah, go on. Well, when's the cup final?
I think it's the week before.
Yeah.
Saturday, 16th of May. So that Burnley game would be moved. So you got Burnley and Newcastle. If you're in the Champions League, where's that going to get moved to?
Yeah, I don't know.
That could end up playing havoc.
Mm.
That's going to play massive havoc. But it's also going to play havoc for Man City.
Yep.
Because if they got to the FA Cup final, they'll potentially have 3 fixtures.
Yeah, there will be. Yeah. And what happens if we're both in the Champions League final? Yeah, there's something for them to sort out, that's for sure.
It's going to be very interesting, mate. Like, actually, looking at it like this year, right? It's going to be interesting where they put all the fixtures. If Arsenal Man City got to the FA Cup final, just to take for example, City have got 3 games they're going to have to get covered, and Arsenal got 2 games, but there's also Champions League games in the week as well. Like, obviously, one fixture will be played between the FA Cup final and the last game of the season. So you're looking at Wednesday. I think there's probably a Champions League the week before. I don't know, but yeah. It could work out in our benefit that Arsenal Man City gets the FA Cup final.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Be very interesting. But yes, we will wait and see what happens. Well, before we leave, I should do a couple of predictions. Absolutely, yeah. Everyone wants to hate, don't they? So, Leverkusen away. Do you want to go first?
Tough game. I'm going to go draw 1-1.
Interesting. If you say that, I'll say 2-1 Arsenal. I think we'll have enough for them, but I can see them scoring because I think they need to. Really, I think they've got to come and have a go. If we get a couple of goal advantage, yeah. But yeah, I'll say 2-1. I think so. And go to the Everton game. I'll go 3-1 on Saturday. I can see them scoring because I can see it being a bit twitchy. But I just think we've just got enough firepower. Lots of Havertz and that.
1-0.
1-0, yeah, I'll take that.
It would not surprise me the day boys derby.
Last minute Havertz winner. I mean, it'd be lovely. Don't get me wrong. It's great for the scenes. It's not good for the heart.
I think, yeah, it's going to be.
And saying that, if we did win like last minute, that would proper whack Man City one. They'd be warming up at West Ham, and because they probably have it on the big screens going, oh, lovely, and then seeing us score, they'll be like, oh, you know, it could be a real killer blow.
It does have that effect on you, don't it? Like when you see the Liverpool goal. I'll go try and get some shoes.
What's he saying now?
Everton win 2-1. Yeah, no, I think when you watch that Liverpool game, it is that kick in the nuts, and it does do you. I ain't gonna lie. That early Ireland penalty kind of killed me.
Oh yeah, it was infuriating.
So yeah,
maybe interesting because obviously Salah scored the other day for Liverpool against Wolves' first goal for a while. interested to see if he perks up a bit now.
The other interesting thing, right? Say they drew against West Ham and we won. It's 6 points then. And whatever happens, if that happened, we'd increase our goal difference as well. And then if you look at it, we'll be definitely about 6 or 7 goals plus on them at that point. You start sitting there thinking, and actually, Man City need us to step up 3 times.
There's 3 games, and then win 3.
That would be 3 times. That would be, once we get to 6 points, they'll need us to step up at ideally for 3 games, unless they're going to start banging loads of goals in. I just don't. I think it's quite hard now, isn't it? The way the team's set up to just go and bang goals in.
Yeah, no one really freshes anyone anymore. Everyone's sets up so
So like that's what we want to do: is get 6 points, get the goal difference. Because then they're looking at it like we're petering down games. I'm thinking, we need to slip up 3 times. Do you know what I mean? Where they're having to go perfect as well. At that point.
Exactly, there's more pressure on them. They're playing catch up. We've got the points on the board. They might have a game in hand, but they still got to go and win it. And Crystal Palace, they've hit a little bit of form. They've got nothing to lose. So, I don't know when is their game
it's
in
not
hand.
been arranged. So that's another game. That's what I'm saying. They came up with a ridiculous amount. Because what screwed them over was Crystal Palace actually playing in the
Europa Conference League. Yes. That's right.
And this is what I'm saying, that actually, if Man City slip up again, and then they start getting all these games, but on Champions League on top, he's going to start prioritising actually which one do we think we're actually going to win. So it's so important for Arsenal just to keep winning. They've got to win the home games. Exactly. They have to win the home games.
Let's keep ticking off the wins. As you say, we've got 8 games. Let's keep ticking up 1 game at a time. Win that one, tick it off, move on to the next one.
I bet you don't, mate.
You and me both, mate. Yeah. Hopefully, tears of joy.
Absolutely, so.
Yeah. And then that'll be one very happy show afterwards. Right, well, cracking. I think that's everything covered. I don't think I've missed anything.
Yeah, I think that's covered everything off, isn't it? There was quite a lot there.
Yeah. That's it. Onwards and upwards.
Just the 2 of us.
Yeah, very cosy. Not a late Valentine's Day treat.
A treat for you all.
Absolutely. Thank you everybody for watching, for all the nice comments. And thank you, Liam, for coming on.
Thank you.
And 2 more games to go. Champions League glory. And hopefully another league win. And hopefully West Ham do us a little favour. And Spurs lose again. Thank you, everyone, and good night.
Night all.